Hi, I'm Adele Cushing. I'm newly appointed E-Innovation Manager at City and Islington College, and my colleague, line manager, Jane Clark, is the head of the Teaching and Learning Unit. And we're following on from Frank's talk last night, and we're sort of looking at the national picture in terms of the use of Moodle, as well as specific individual organisational structure and how that can help the growth of e-learning. And it's gonna be an interactive workshop, so we're getting you to do most of the work. But I'm going to start off with just the reference to the 157 group, which, as I said last night, Frank is chair of, and it's some of the largest colleges in the country, not all the largest colleges, but some of them. And these are the number of those colleges that are using Moodle. So increasingly, the larger colleges are moving into the use of Moodle. And of those Moodle users, this amount have the ILP. And as it turns out, in terms of the City and Islington's choice to move from Blackboard to Moodle last summer, that was really centralised around the fact that they wanted an online ILP. So we investigated the different options, and it turned out that the Moodle package, and the fact that it integrated so well with the VLE, and would give the students sort of a one-stop experience, really, in terms of learning and the learner journey. So that was the main reason for moving to Moodle last year. And I know there's some colleagues in the room are going to also talk about moving from Blackboard to Moodle. And just can I get a picture of who's here from FE? Who else is in colleges here? Okay, so the rest of you are universities. That's fine. So in terms of Moodle Activity, I think we all have this picture of the bulk use of resources in a VLE. And I'm interested, obviously, in developing lecturers in terms of using the more interactive features to engage the students, to get them to interact with what's on their Moodle course. So you can see it's sort of half resources. This was back in 2006-07, with forums and messages being the most way that you could get the students to interact. But the picture's changed. In 2010-11, it's changed quite rapidly, really, with the ILP, the use of the ILP. So you can see now that half of the student interaction is happening through the use of the individual learning plan, and the online individual learning plan, which is really key for, particularly for the younger students, to make sure that they succeed in their studies. And we've also obviously got the assignment and the quiz, and they're the features that you're probably familiar with. So Frank used this in his presentation last night, and I'd just like you to talk between yourselves for a minute, just in terms of where you think your organisation is. So if you can talk to the person next to you, just have a quick chat with them, and just discuss where you think you are, your organisation, in terms of this picture. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm going to do this.
Yeah. Okay, so can we come back together and just see? Let's start at the top of the picture. Thanks. Okay, so how many of you think you're innovative in your organisation? You've actually got everything embedded and you're now working on moving forward and being innovative with... Good. Okay, where are you from?
University of Kent.
University of Kent. Okay, everyone visit the University of Kent because they've obviously got a good model going on there and starting to try new innovative practices. Do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been doing?
IMS, who are an international global learning consortium. They're coming up with Metropolis. We're trying to use Moodle to implement their standards and actually get Moodle ahead of the curve. And we've been using it for 2 years, but we feel like we've got it really embedded in our environment now. So
are you actually looking at contributing some of your functionality into the Moodle community as well?
Yeah, we've released the old plugin, but the RTO work is the biggest thing we've started, and that's all available.
Great, okay, thank you. How about embedded? We've got a few more people. Phil, they're not close, getting there. In between transformative and embedded. Hands up for that. Okay, a good number. Does anyone want to share why they feel that?
We're in the process of moving over from WebCC to Moodle.
Right.
So along with the move to Moodle, we're looking at things like integration of the timetables.
Can we just listen when someone's talking? Thank you.
We've had WebCC integrated with our portal for a few years now, so we're doing the same kind of integrations with Moodle. We're taking it one step further, so bringing in the timetabling system, bringing in other elements. We've got teachers that start to use things like Google Docs alongside the VLE, not to embed that into the VLE as well. So there's a lot of movement going on. Some of the processes are being rewritten. Coursework submission is the next area we're looking at as well. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of change.
So bringing like the whole organisational practice of the student into something centralised so that they can pick up the information that they need. Yeah, good. Okay, between coordinated and transformative. Yep, do you want to say why you put yourself there?
Well, I think we've gone through early adopters, patchiness, and we now have kind of mass use, and that mass use is in some areas already doing so, in other areas sort of thinking about how to do it to redesign some of their very central processes.
Yeah.
To deliver kind of strategic level changes.
Yeah, so you have to be considerate of the sort of the organisation, the strategy that's required to get these things moving forward. So Jane's going to just talk a little bit about that in terms of our organisation.
Because I think we'd also say that we're in that transitional stage, you know, and possibly towards the top end of the coordinated. As Frank said yesterday, what we felt was that we certainly have a culture of teaching and learning in the college. I think certainly most of our teachers would say that. Huge priority, training, coaching, etc. for teachers does take place. But what we felt about 18 months to a year ago was that to now facilitate further change, real embeddedness of e-learning into our pedagogical practice, we needed to make some organisational change. So what we did was we actually moved the responsibility for e-learning to the teaching and the learning unit, which is where it is now, away from the libraries and resources. It was quite interesting the way that worked for our college, because the libraries and resources staff doing fabulous work, very much training the teachers, I think. We did mass training and a fabulous job. But what we then felt we needed to move further on was that embedding practice and helping teachers to, you know, develop course design, lesson planning, to really make that change for the learners. And so that's what's happening currently. We're still relatively new to this particular change. It's been in place for about a year now, so it's a little bit early perhaps to talk about whether it's been a success. But I think working in a project-based way, which is what our e-learning developers have been doing, has been very successful. You know, actually working with departments and helping them with the design of their courses has been successful, particularly for our foundation degree courses, where we've targeted, I guess, most of the e-learning developers' time. I think the other key thing that having this responsibility within the teaching and the learning unit has done is it's allowed us to collaborate as a group in terms of the design of the EILP. You know, you've got key stakeholders in there, people from learner engagement, people from HE, people from some of the senior management levels within the college as well, all come together to get the most out of the ILP in terms of its design. So yeah, so that's just to give you an example of an organisational change, you know, which we've facilitated.
So what we wanted to do is kind of pull it back to you in terms of how you might move up that transformation graph. And we've got some sheets here for you to identify, and you can obviously, you know, talk to your neighbour about it. If you're with someone from the same organisation, you might want to work on it together. But to identify an e-learning barrier that you've actually overcome, what the solution was, and then to think about a current barrier that you're trying to overcome at the moment. And what we want to do is try to match you up with people who've perhaps overcome similar types of barriers. If you want to work electronically, you could always email your response to me, as I'll pick it up on my phone, and my email address is at the top. What we're going to do with it is when everyone's completed their paper, we're going to get you to assign it to the different categories around the room, and then you can see what other people's responses are and see if you want to speak to them later on. Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to enable you to hurdle over some of these barriers. So when you've finished filling that out, if you want to identify one of the categories around the room, and there's blue tack on each of the sheets, and you can just stick yours up, and then we'll obviously see how many, what kind of themes exist, and then you can have a closer look and see if you want to speak to anyone particularly about perhaps some solutions that they might have previously. Yeah, go for it. The ones that are still a barrier, yeah. Oh, okay.
To switch to Moodle because of the ILP.
Oh, okay. Good stuff.
Be interested to link up at some point and have a look at how you have actually, have you taken, to what degree have you modified the ILP that you've got? Presumably you've got the ILP module from ULCC?
Yes, that's it, yeah.
Are
We're
they
hosting generally, yeah.
Yes.
Are you? Yeah.
It'd be interesting to compare notes.
Yeah.
I just met somebody from Stanmore College who wants to integrate some aspects of the grade book into the ILP
Yes.
as well. And we do a quick project on, particularly for the A-level programs.
Oh, yeah.
But BTECs as well, where...
That sounds good.
So, it'd be interesting to share some experience.
Yeah, that'd be really good. Okay, so please post up your. You've got a little bit of time as well to have a look at what other people have written as well. So please get up and move around to wherever the appropriate spot might be. And if you don't feel like yours fits into any of the categories, then we'll look at why. We'll create a new category. Yeah. Thanks. I'm just going to pull this together because we're coming to the end of our time. I think it's quite interesting that we've got most of the issues around the cultural and organisational. If we can just bring this together, so we're just running out of time. It's interesting that we've got them in the cultural and organisational. Presumably that's why, because that was what Frank was talking about, and that's why you're here. And I'm also presuming that people who are sort of at the top of the transformation model in terms of, well, we've done embedded, now we're innovative, have achieved some of the, got through some of these cultural and organisational issues. Is that true, University of Kent? Well, that is its own barrier, yeah.
I'll take a look at the end and what's any stories of how University of Kent overcame their problem.
Yeah, that would be really good. And obviously, we're around today, coffee and things. And if you know, at the end of the session, if you want to have a look at people's names up and try and find them over coffee and speak to them, that'd be good. Okay, I think that's it from me.
Thanks very much.